The Zrick hunting pack moved through the abandoned human research station with practiced silence. Their 6 legs carried them soundlessly across the metal floors, their thermal sensors scanning for any residual heat signatures. Commander Threxus felt confident. Humans were soft, slow creatures who had fled at the first sign of the Zrick invasion fleet. "Sector 7 clear," whispered Subcommander Krell through the neural link. No signs of resistance. Threxus allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The Galactic Council had warned them about humanity, but those warnings had proven hollow. Yes, humans were creative. Yes, they were unpredictable, but they were also weak, bound by primitive emotions and illogical moral codes. The Zrick were perfect hunters, evolved on a death world where only the strongest, fastest, and smartest survived. The pack spread out through the station's central hub, their razor-sharp claws clicking softly against the deck plates. This outpost had been humanity's primary xenobiology research facility in the Kepler sector. Whatever data remained here would give the Zrick Empire a significant advantage in understanding their new prey. That's when Threxus heard it. Laughter, human laughter echoing through the corridors. Not the sound of fear or hysteria, but genuine amusement. Deep, resonant, almost casual. "Contact," Krell barked. "Northern corridor, multiple—" The neural link went silent. Threxus's mandibles clicked nervously as he signaled the pack to converge on Krell's last position. They moved as one organism, weapons raised, sensors at maximum sensitivity. Around the corner, they found Krell's equipment scattered across the floor. No body, no blood, just empty armor and a dropped plasma rifle. More laughter, this time closer. Behind them, the pack spun in perfect synchronization, but the corridor was empty. Threxus felt something he hadn't experienced since his juvenile years on the hunting grounds of Zrick Prime. Uncertainty. "They're playing with us," growled Hunter Vex, the pack's tracker. "This is a psychological tactic." "Humans don't have the patience for psychological warfare," Threxus responded, but his voice carried less conviction than he intended. "They're emotional, impulsive." A voice crackled through their comm system. Not their encrypted neural link, but the station's public address system. A human voice, male, speaking in perfect Zrick. "You know what's funny?" the voice said, still carrying that unsettling tone of amusement. "The Council tried to warn you. They told you about Earth, about what kind of world produces humanity, but you didn't listen because you thought you were the apex predators." Threxus traced the signal, but it was bouncing through every relay in the station, impossible to pinpoint. "Here's the thing about humans," the voice continued, conversational, almost friendly. "We didn't evolve as the strongest or the fastest. We weren't the biggest predator on our world. Do you know what we were?" Another pack member vanished. One moment Hunter 6 was covering the left flank, the next moment, gone. Not even a sound, just absence. The laughter returned, now coming from multiple directions. "We were the persistent ones," the voice explained. "The ones who tracked prey for days. The ones who studied, learned, adapted. We weren't born as apex predators, Commander Threxus. We became them by outthinking everything that tried to eat us." "Show yourself, coward." Threxus roared, his own fear manifesting as aggression. "Oh, we've been showing ourselves this whole time," the voice replied, amused. "You just don't see us because you're looking for threats that match your experience. Fast things, strong things, things that fight the way you fight." The lights went out. In the darkness, Threxus's thermal sensors should have given him the advantage. Zrick eyesight could track heat signatures across vast distances, but the entire station was suddenly the same temperature. Somehow the humans had equalized the thermal output of every surface, every wall, every object. "You came to a human research station," the voice whispered, now directly in Threxus's ear receptor, impossibly close. "Did you think we wouldn't have contingencies? We've been studying you for months, Commander. We know how you hunt, how you think, how you track." Something moved in the darkness, fast, too fast. "The Council tried to tell you," the voice continued, now from a different direction. "Humans aren't dangerous because we're strong. We're dangerous because we're creative, because we laugh at fear, because we turned our entire evolutionary history of being prey into the ultimate predator strategy." Threxus fired blindly into the darkness. His plasma bolts illuminated brief snapshots of the corridor. Empty, 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 until one shot revealed a figure. Not standing on the ground, but clinging to the ceiling. Human, wearing adaptive camouflage that shifted with each flash of light. Eyes that reflected no fear, only calculation. And that smile. The lights came back on suddenly, blindingly bright. Threxus's visual receptors screamed in pain as they tried to adjust. When his vision cleared, he was alone. The entire pack gone. Around him, the walls were covered in human writing. The same phrase repeated hundreds of times. Welcome to the food chain. The human stepped out from a doorway that hadn't been there moments before. No, that had been there, camouflaged perfectly. He was average height, average build, nothing physically impressive. But he moved with the confidence of something that had never questioned its place in the universe. Your invasion fleet will arrive in 6 hours, the human said, checking a wrist device casually. They'll find this station intact, fully operational and filled with very interesting modifications to the environmental systems. We've made it very comfortable, very welcoming. Threxus reached for his weapon but found his limbs wouldn't respond. Paralytic. When had 3 minutes ago. The human answered the unspoken question. Contact toxin on your equipment, slow acting. We needed you conscious for the message. What? Message? Threxus managed to rasp. The human's smile widened. That humanity didn't run. We gave you the station. We gave you the bait. And when your fleet arrives, they'll learn what every predator on Earth eventually learned. That the most dangerous thing in the galaxy isn't the creature with the biggest teeth or the sharpest claws. He leaned in close. And Threxus saw it then. The calculation, the patience, the absolute certainty of something that had spent millions of years perfecting the art of survival. It's the creature that laughs while it hunts you. The last thing Commander Threxus heard before the darkness took him was laughter. Human laughter. Not cruel, not angry, just genuinely amused. The apex predator had struck, and it had enjoyed every moment.